Alright, so I got a little bit of reinforcement on why it's important to keep a healthy relationship with food and with other activities in our lives. So, earlier today on the news, some guy was in New York when he got the shock of his lifetime, right? The FBI and ATF stormed his motel room because somebody reported he looked like Brian Laundrie. And it turned out well. He identified himself. The situation was quickly diffused. You see, it could have been a whole lot worse if I were in a situation like that and I had food craving kind of issues. Right? Many years ago, I would sit down to indulge in my favorite food. I'd be in the middle of it and I'd be a mess. I would be a mess. One time, I lost my job over this. What had happened was I had an hour to eat, and I was just about to eat at the break room when my manager says, "Hey, this is a good time for such a meeting," and we all convened, and I couldn't wait for the meeting to end. I wasn't paying attention to the meeting, and half an hour into the meeting, I stormed out of the meeting to just go get a pack of sausages that I heated up in the microwave, and I just ate it in the break room, and then I realized that, it's not easy to speak while you're eating. Every time I try to cheat and do this, even on a Zoom call, right? I try to cheat and eat in front of this. It doesn't go well. Two things don't go well. First of all, you sound horrible, and second of all, the food doesn't taste right. Now, getting back to this FBI story, the FBI storms my home, and I'm in the middle of eating, and I don't know how that would go back in 2019 when I was still grappling with this problem, right? Oh, it also inspired me to do something today. In a moment, I'm going to make a new backup copy of my computer just in case, if the FBI storms me and the computer gets damaged or something like that, or more likely something happens to the computer, right? I accidentally lose it on while traveling, or, damage, a fire or something like that. But the FBI raid today gave me another scenario where this could happen, and so it inspired me to go to think about making a new backup copy of everything. Anyways, I know all of this sounds very drastic, but it's much more likely that I run into other situations where my eating disorder gets in the way, right? FBI raiding is one situation out of a whole sea of problems that could happen in a given day, right? And actually, I discovered it wasn't just with food. Sometimes I have a problem with masturbating. Now, to give you an idea of how bad a problem it was, I was traveling in Ellensburg, Washington one time, and I was about to go to my favorite stargazing vantage point. And I had thought about stopping at this grocery store to pick up some groceries to take to that vantage point, and I got an urge to masturbate. And I was in such a hurry. I wanted to go to the grocery store where they have this very large parking lot, park at the very back, put my comforter on top of me, do my business, and then go get the groceries. And all I could think about was stopping the car to masturbate. And I was so lost in thought that I ended up driving the wrong way down a one-way street. And finally, I pulled into that parking lot to masturbate. And when I finally did it, it felt like I got raped by myself, right? The need to have sex was so great that it overrode common sense, it overrode safety concerns, it overrode any sort of... I can't imagine what would have happened if I then got pulled over by the police for going down the wrong way. I cannot imagine. Fortunately, it didn't play out that way, but it would not be a beautiful scene for sure. And so after I considered the ramifications of what I just did, I thought to myself, I just got date raped, right? But it was a solosexual date rape, right? Anyway, so that's why it's very important to take control of our faculties, as we saw what happened this morning with some unlucky guy who just happened to look like Brian Laundrie.